So I realised recently, if I'm going to commit to reading a really good fantasy trilogy and read the books back to back, I really shouldn't do that at this time of the year when all the new releases I'm looking forward to are released at once. Now, I did mention that in 4 weeks' time I was going to relaunch the channel. Let's do it today. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, the newly rebranded channel Unlimited Reads. So why the name change? A little under 12 months ago, when I decided to launch a booktube channel, I just wanted to get things up and running really quickly and didn't really give much thought to a decent channel name, and Hooked on Books with Chris was the first title I came up with that sounded okay to get the ball rolling. Now, as time has gone on, it's worn a little bit too thin, it's a little bit long, it's a bit of a mouthful, and recently I've decided to reinvent things a little bit, and the channel title was one of the first things that needed an overhaul, and I just wanted something short and snappy and to the point, and Unlimited Reads was the title I came up with. So I'm really happy with it, and it's a title I can have for a very long time and the novelty won't wear off. Unlimited Reads encompasses everything about reading, in my opinion, so it has a very broad scope. It'll cover all the genres that I like to read, including classics and westerns that I've started to read recently as a way of branching out and growing as a reader. So recently I was feeling a little bit down about the channel. I had noticed a drop in subscribers and a little bit of a drop in views on the channel, and I thought about scrapping the whole thing completely or taking a prolonged break from the channel and producing content. But I thought to myself, I need to just take a step back, take a look at the channel, embrace it for what it is. I mean, let's look at this. I've done 100 videos almost. I'm up to about 95. I've put a lot of hours and blood, sweat and tears into this, and I really want to take the opportunity to thank all my subscribers and all my potential subscribers for sticking in there with me while I've been on a bit of a sabbatical, if you will, working out ways to make the channel fresh, to reinvent the content, and to just give a facelift to everything, which I'm so glad I did, because it's reinvigorated me. I feel a lot better about the channel. I mean, I've got 107 subscribers. I could have 0 subscribers, so I'm always going to be grateful for all you guys for tuning in and watching my videos. It's been great, and I look forward to growing in the future and connecting with more and more people, and hopefully I can get a lot more subscribers over time. And that's something I've realized. It is going to take quite a bit of time to build that momentum, but I think my new channel name, Unlimited Reads, will be a lot more accessible to people. People might find my channel a little bit easier than having to put in Hooked on Books, which no one would actually search for that. They would look at reads and books and things like that in their search strings, and I'm probably more likely to find subscribers down to just a channel change of name. So moving forward, for me, it's going to be about a bit of integrity as well. When I took a step back and looked at the overall big picture of the channel, I noticed that I hadn't followed through on things I had mentioned. For example, at the end of a typical video, I would give an indication of what's coming up next on the channel, and that put undue pressure on because, for example, I mentioned that I'll be doing a new segment called Author Spotlight, where I would take one particular author and talk about all their books and promote them, and give a video on why you should read this particular author. That didn't happen. I was going to do a reading vlog on Lonesome Dove, the #1 Western book that people love, and I didn't actually do that when I say I was going to do it. I felt intimidated by the length of the book, but as time has gone on, I've realized that I still plan on doing it in the near future, and it's going to happen before the end of the year. But in terms of the format of the videos, at the end of each video from now on, I'm not going to say this is coming up on the channel. I'm going to keep things a bit more spontaneous and fresh, so that I'm not putting undue pressure on myself to do a segment that doesn't come to be. So what does the content look like moving forward? Not a great deal of change there, but I'm freshening things up a little bit. I'm going to bring back weekly updates. So what I will do is every Sunday I'll release a video of what I've been up to, what I've been reading, what I've been watching. Not much different to what I used to be doing, but I'll be taking a little bit more time and going in a bit more detail about the books I read on any given week. So that is going to be good. I'm going to be doing monthly wrap-ups and talk about what I read during that particular month, and of course I'll be revealing my book of the month, which I have been doing and will continue to do that. I'm going to be doing book reviews, and for example I'm going to be reviewing, I can't wait for this book to come out, I'm going to be reviewing Stephen King's new book Fairy Tale, which is a fantasy book. Can't wait for that. I've pre-ordered it. All I have to do is sit back and wait for it to be delivered to my door. On that particular day that it arrives, this is the kind of book that jumps to the head of the queue. Anything else I'm reading at the time just gets dropped. I don't care what the book is that I'm in the middle of at that moment. It gets dropped, the package gets opened, and I start to read. The only reservation I've got about the book is it doesn't seem thick enough for a fantasy book. I expected something about 500 pages at least, but I think it's weighing in at about 384 pages, which, you know, I'll take what I can get, but I'm really looking forward to that, and I'll certainly be reviewing it on the channel. I'll also be doing book hauls and unboxings. I really enjoy watching book haul videos and unboxing, and the stats on the channel have proven that the book hauls and unboxings I have done have been pretty popular, so I'm going to keep that going. And I have ordered a box set which will come next week, and I am going to be doing a unboxing on Skullduggery Pleasant, which will be good. I won't talk about too much now, but certainly looking forward to that. I'll also be doing shorts. I find them a very successful medium because they only go for about a minute, and I got 120 views on the last one I did a few nights ago, where it was Come Book Shopping With Me and I was seeking out the new Chris Carter book, and that was really good. So it's a very convenient medium to use. The video preparation takes no time at all. You just film up to a minute of footage, do a quick edit on your phone and upload it from your phone. So it's really good for something spontaneous that pops up if I'm thinking about a particular book, or if I'm deciding to read a book that I take off the shelf. I'll probably share that in a short video, but there are going to be short videos, a few more of them moving forward. So there you go. So what have I been reading lately? Well, I've finished a couple of books this week, the first of which was 17 Last Man Standing by John Brownlow. This is a fairly new author that's only just come up on my radar recently, thanks to a really good marketing campaign from Hachette, which is the Australian distributor of really good books here, and I enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. It wasn't overly long. It read very quickly. There was heaps of action in the book and a couple of twists here and there, with a nice conclusion to finish. Now, the book involves the story of a master assassin who goes by the name of 17, and he's at the top of his profession. He is it's his job to complete assignments for intelligence agencies around the world that want things kept under wraps. And during the book, he becomes threatened by the previous master assassin known as 16, who for some reason or other went into hiding and exile for no reason at all, and both he and 17 are played against each other by a shadowy conspiracy, and they lock horns and go at it against each other, and pull some innocent people into the mix as well. And it's just a really well done story, although I did find the writing at the beginning of the book a little bit immature, if I can say that, but it evolved as the book went on and turned into a cracker of a read, and it makes me look forward to any future books if it's a planned series, and John Brownlow has certainly left it open for a decent sequel. Now, the second book I finished early this week was a real charmer, and I'm glad I picked this one up for $4 from an op shop, and that is The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. What makes this book really special is that 2/3 of the book is made up of drawings done in pencil, which help the storyline advance by a storyboard kind of format. The drawings are absolutely exquisite, and I'll show you a couple of them in a moment, but the story involves a young orphan, I think he's about 11 or 12, called Hugo, who lives inside the walls of a big train station in central Paris, and he goes around and fixes all the clocks. And at the heart of the book, there's a mystery about an automaton, a mechanical man left behind by his father. And we find Hugo looking at fixing up the automaton because it's actually got a mechanical arm with a pen attached to the end of it, and it writes mysterious messages and drawings, and it's just an amazing magical experience, this book. It's not actually a book, it's an experience. And the mystery, how it gets solved, and how Hugo develops as a character and interacts with the other characters in the book is just absolutely incredible. But some of these pictures are brilliantly drawn, and you could turn about 12 pages and it's just all these pictures with beautiful crosshatch techniques, which you don't see much of that anymore. You did see crosshatching done in illustrations in books like, I think, Winnie the Pooh and Stuart Little, those books going back in a bygone era. So the charm of those drawings just enhances the story, and I think it's not a very long book. I got through it in 2 sittings. It reads very, very quickly. Such an enjoyable book, and those pictures, they're to die for. And the third book from this week, I started Chris Carter's new one, which you might have seen in the short video I did, Come Book Shopping With Me, on Thursday night, Genesis. This is the 12th book in the Robert Hunter series. What a fantastic series this is, and I'm only a little way through so far, but the opening crime scene was as gruesome as it gets, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how Robert Hunter solves this one. It's just the antagonist in this is just pure evil, and just can't really wait to see how that pans out. Really good stuff. Now, as to what I'm going to read over the next week or so, I have got another recent release from Tom Clancy, co-written with Don Bentley, and that is called 0 Hour. It is the latest Jack Ryan Jr. book in the series, and this one, I don't know too much about it, but I collect the series. I've read the series for a few years now, and it's one of my favourites, and I can't wait to sink my teeth into that one. And at the start of the video, I did mention that I shouldn't start a fantasy series because of all these new books coming out. So next week, I'm going to try and get back into book 3 of the Farseer trilogy, Assassin's Quest. I'm about 150 pages in, and I really want to get it finished. I did get distracted and sidetracked by the temptation of all these new books coming out. I just couldn't help myself, and probably bit off a bit more than I can chew, saying I'm going to read this fantasy series back to back, and I did okay with the first 2, one after another, but when I came to the third one, it started off okay, and then mail started to arrive, and I had packages with new books inside, and I kept looking at the pile and thinking, oh, I just want to start something new, and then the Assassin's Quest was sitting there, and I said, shut up, I'm going to get to you in a minute. So definitely next week I'm going to have a damn good crack at getting back into the Farseer trilogy, given that new releases have slowed down now. Although I did mention that when Stephen King's book comes in, it doesn't matter what it is, everything else gets dropped and that book gets picked up and read. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to my subscribers for sticking with me while I had to figure out a few things on how to reinvent the channel and give everything a fresh facelift, and I'm excited to be bringing you new and updated content moving forward, and I'm looking forward to connecting to a lot more people and just talking about books in general. And please offer any comment or feedback down below, and until next time, guys, see you later.